Quanta, and I'm calling in regards to the Drive a Senior program.
It's you on mute. You're open. I want to mute it.
I'm not looking for a ride. What I'm looking for is
We're hearing
I
you.
belong to the Knights of
We can't really
Columbus
hear you.
at St. Louis King of France Church in Austin, and we were going to send in a donation check, and I was just wondering where to mail it.
I'm in the Secrets bucket.
I'm currently on the website. I was wondering, is that the address? And okay, and do I send it to anyone's
Trevor,
attention?
can you mute Kit for a second? He's having some conversation, please. If possible. Thank you. Those seem to be a little personal, so. Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Shrai.
Hi, it's great to see some of you guys. So James is like, I'm ready. I need to buy some properties, and I'm like not so busy. Got it. Hey, John. All right. Let's give a couple more minutes, and then we'll take it off. No, yeah. Let me share my screen. All right. Let me try to clean up the note takers. I don't know, Sanjay, Trevor, if you can help me with it. For some reason, I'm just the guy showed up to the meeting.
I'm not a host, so I can't.
Oh, Sanjay, can you?
Let me log into the other account. 1 second.
Yeah.
I think I will be able to. I'll need to drop off and I'll come.
Sounds good. Not that one, this one. All right. How was everybody's weekend? We had a good weekend. Again, it was great to see some of you guys. And you see Alex's picture, right? With Julie, you got a big old lion right there. That was a cool picture, though, that he posted on the group. Let's see if I can find the picture. Maybe
Okay. What's happening here? 1 second. Let's see here. Yeah.
All right, it's 9:05. I'll slowly kick it off. Right. All right. Before I kick it off, last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had our 3 days. So me, Sandra, and Mike were a little bit off. We worked a little bit on the back end, but there's some underwritings due for everybody else. We're catching up today, so all those underwriting will be finished today, and we'll catch up and we'll communicate. And on that note, Alex's team and also Sujit, really big thank you for coming out and doing the presentation as well. It was great seeing everybody for the roundtable and also on the lounge den. Okay, so back to it. This is almost over. We already know that this call is for Massive Masters only. So let's go back to the interest rate forecast. This is our handy dandy tool There's a call coming up in about 2 months or roughly month and a half from now. It's at the 5.7 on the May call. We don't expect any rate to change. We are going through right now, we're in the middle of the tariff battle. So that has to go through, that has to play out. So, initially we expected a tit for tat, then a second revision, then maybe a third revision, then something will stick. The whole going back and forth will take some time as you go through it, just the process of it, right? So 2 or 3 months or so, we're going to see a lot of news about tariffs and things like that. And that will have an impact to the consumer price now, give or take 6 weeks or so. And that is everywhere, from supply chain, from logistics, from import, export, anything you have it. It's becoming a little bit more cluster mess in terms of the logistics side of it, which hasn't quite showed up yet. That is number one is the goods, like the price of goods on the both sides of the world. And the secondary thing is that transportation cost, right? So imagine you're buying goods from, I don't know, I'm just throwing some number, goods somewhere from Europe, and that has a tax, but it's being shipped to US by, the cargoes that is owned by China, and or vice versa. Then it's becoming a double taxation issue, triple taxation issue. Not only the cost of goods are high, but also the cost of transportation is high, and then we gotta go pay. So we still are figuring that out. It's gonna take, seems like, a little bit of time. So either way, interest rate is higher for longer. We're expecting Treasury to stick around where they at for at least next 3-4 months or so, and then end of the year we'll see some reduction once we go through the hump of it. So stay comfortable where we at. Let's not get kind of get our thought is that rate's gonna come down and everything's gonna happen. So next two, May, nothing. On June, there is a one vibe that April, May, we're gonna come on the other side of the June, end of the June to close to July. There may be a rate cut, but potentially as of now, 2 rate cuts as we kind of go through. So we'll see how where this one happens. And this in the Treasury, as you can see, since March, it stayed steady, up and down, up and down. So our refi rates for the multifamily and/or the buy and sell rate, that will stay more or less where we at. So in other way, it's a stronger message for everyone. Whoever has to sell, they just have to transact, right? So we're seeing some of the deals are coming back out now. Either they will refi or they'll sell. So we're seeing somewhat of a deal flow slowly started to trickle in now on the multifamily side, and especially the phone calls or tap on the shoulder. Example, Sanjay got some phone calls with some of the relationship that we have with San Antonio market. There's one in the San Antonio market. There's one in Houston that we're looking at it. Dallas area, there's a couple of them floating around, but those are being heavily marketed. But either way, deals, we are seeing a little bit of traction on the multifamily side. That's on the market sentiment. Sanjay, if you want to add anything to it, otherwise I will go back to.
Yeah, let me share my screen real quick.
Yep.
Some news, prominent news that I kind of picked up. And, one thing we keep talking is it's a balance, right? We're going through this shifts. So, so, I saw this, the office building here in downtown DC, Washington, DC, is sold for almost half the price. So, it from 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, TIAA bought it for 208, sold for 118 million now. So, quite a haircut on this building. Aside from what's going on with the federal job cuts and everything else, office market has struggled. And to that, last week's the health department added to some more of federal job cuts. Petco's appliance and store closing. The store closing, news keep coming here and there, every 1 or 2 retailers out there looking to optimize this. And I think AI technology has some role to play in those things. With that said, there is this, the Related, believe it or not, that's the name of a company. They're doing a data center arm, raising $8 billion for that. They kind of launched that. So all the stores that are closing, this money is going to go towards more commercial buildings and stuff. JP Morgan REIT buys into the couple apartments in the Sunbelt area. So as the values drop, the timing becomes great for the buyers, and existing holders have to kind of work through and wait for this to come back up. So it's a push and pull, as we call it. So other players that have never been into these things are getting into the multifamily commercial space. So it's an interesting world for us to kind of balance and stay on top of these things. The pockets are there for really good deals, and of course, pockets are there for not so good deals. So really have to kind of monitor, do the research, that much more research into these things to making final decisions. So back to you, Shara.
Thank you. Yes, balancing act is it's a good thing. So let me go back. All right, so outlining 2025 strategy. So on that note, All Capital had a 5-property tour over the weekend in Dallas area, and I was picking it, and I talked to Paul a little bit. A couple of things that we picked up from there. It's the similar thing. Buy side, still a good opportunity if you buy it right, and a Class C, less of a competition. So your cap rate is coming up to be, solid 6, if not sometime you may see a 7 handle, depending on where you're at. And then the equity pressure, especially on the multifamily side, it is there. But give or take about a year and a half, we'll be out of that zone of it. So it was a good conversation with Paul. Okay, so equity sentiment, same. Bank debts are available. People are trying to give you a loan. Whoever that I talk to, it's like, I haven't done the deal for so many days, and as you kind of go. So we are refinancing one of our projects right now in Atlanta market. So the lender is a debt fund backed up by a large, like a family office aggregation point. They are being extremely bullish about debt where it makes sense. So that's debt are available. 8.25% refi rate, which is lower than the bridge that we have, but they're levering up almost to 77-80% because they're looking at the pro forma. So lenders are coming out pretty strongly right now. That both from the bank side and the debt side. This is also a good way to build a relationship, especially on the smaller deal size. I would say smaller would be less than 10 million or around that on the non-multifamily side. So this is a good time is to start, going back to the lenders, start interviewing them, understanding what type of product they like and what type of loan they're ready to available and what's the total size of capital pool that they have. So we are making some introduction to some of you guys. On that note, if you have a particular lender in mind that you want us to come in and deepen the relationship, let us know. And I'm happy to join it as we kind of go. That goes to especially mobile home parks for the SBA loans. So let's beef up the SBA relationship and put them in a good spot. So when a deal comes in, we kind of sort of know that how the lenders will behave, what they're gonna ask, and all that kind of good stuff. On that note, biggest win over the course of the last 2 weeks for as we buy land, we have a specialty lender now. They gave us that we worked with for the last couple of months or so, and that if we have any 50+ acres in a rural area, that's kind of interesting, the definition, which is compared to Houston, Silly is a rural area. So anything more than 15-20 acres or so, they'll come back and leverage. They're going to leverage up to 70-75% and 25 to 30 years amortization. A pretty cool specialty lender, and that's we have that in our toolkit now, depending on what happens. So that was a big win to add that into our the lender box. Transaction, again, more to happen. It is happening, but not on the retail side, on the back end side. A lot of phone calls, tap on the shoulder, things like that. So we have a couple of deals in that bucket. Excited. Raising capital. Everybody, please get your Pro Money and/or the CRM and/or the email sequence, everything else ready. So join the Mike's call outside the 9 o'clock that's specific to Pro Money and the capital raising, portion of it. Independent to you want to be an underwriter or you want to be a deal finder or you want to be a asset manager, that arm, that muscle has to be built as we go. On this one, almost all the team except the new team coming in over the weekend, you have gone through the boot camp. You have sent the LOI. Now look at the deal team and right size the team. That for the particular deals you guys are looking for, is the team ready to get to buy a deal like that? So this is an exercise we're taking it through, especially on Thursdays. I'm taking all of us through the exercise and the practice. So be ready. We give you all the tools and the process. We got you trained up. We're building the relationship. We're starting the relationship, but now you kind of push that forward from there and start asking the question that if I'm looking for a deal size XX million or X million, is my team ready to execute the check right away and take the deal down within 45 days with a strong likelihood? Let me go down to the administrative updates, tools and the process. I think we have mentioned, but we're going to repeat a couple of times. Ellen, Maria, Candace, they're out. They moved out of Massive Capital. We support. Candace went to family office. Maria is doing her own capital raising. Ellen, she wants to move toward the asset management a little bit more, but for family reasons, she wants to take a break. And so if you have an email, we saw some email going to Ellen specifically for underwriting, please, and forward them to deals@massive.capital. That comes to us, so we'll manage that as you go. And we have 2 more hires coming in, and we sent an offer out for intern on the finance side, asset management side. We're trying to coordinate him to come in. We also interviewing 2 other folks. That conversation is going. So you'll see some movements within the Massive Capital side. It's mostly to add more skills into our team so that we can support more to the masters. Property tours. We have we'll have monthly property tours. Trevor, you want to talk a little bit about those 4 real quick as you kind of go?
Yeah, so
Yes.
we did have a great property tour in Horizon. And in fact, several folks from the Massive Masters joined. We talked a lot about raising capital on that deal. If you're interested as a Massive Master and you want to learn and see, I can do another property tour on April the 9th. And then we have the webinar on April the 11th. So if you're looking to get some view, you can go ahead and I'll only do that one on request because I've done a lot of tours there. The next one we have is in Houston, and it's the Candela Retail Development groundbreaking. I'll put it in the chat here. It also should be in your calendar. Then this is an interesting, so this is putting shovels in the ground. And this next one is just about ready to put tenants in the doors in Harris Ridge in April. And that's before, this is now where we finally got them lined up to where you can go ahead and, our goal is to see the whole thing. So soon we'll go to the one in New Braunfels and you'll see starting to go vertical. So we're doing a lot of that. And then for those of you that are looking to raise capital on Horizon, our next webinar, as I mentioned, is on April the 10th at 7. I posted in the chat. Several of you have taken me up in the offers for some custom graphics to promote that. This is a great time for you to learn about a property and raise capital on a property. Don't miss it.
Were you guys able to go to Corridor in New Braunfels? Didn't have time.
We did not, no. I still need some more info, and thank goodness I didn't book it because it was pouring buckets rain. So we'd have been standing in mud.
All right.
Even Horizon, unfortunately, the 3 units we toured, including the one they had ready, they're going to have to re-clean because no matter how much we tried to wipe the mud off our shoes.
Right.
I apologize profusely. By great team there. They were super helpful. you can really tell they're starting to catch their stride and that they
I'll-
care. And so they did a great tour, and but it was pouring rain.
I'll have to take a few extra candies for Sarah tomorrow,
Tell them it's for
Trevor.
Trevor for messing up your apartments. We tried
No,
so
they-
hard,
Yeah,
but it
they're
was
good.
impossible.
They're good. They really understand. And Trevor, these are amazing tours, especially what you said. One is about shovel in the ground, and other one is tenants in the unit. So love that.
Yeah.
And you know, for Massive Masters, you know, we are kind of growing the passive investor group, LP group, the Canis Major, that Trevor is heading up. So these tours are open to Canis Major also, Trevor, or not
That's
at this
correct.
point?
They're open to, in theory, they're open to anybody, but we only really promote them within Candace Major and the Masters. And the reason I brought up the additional tours, two ladies drove all the way from Houston. And I messaged them both and they said, man, this was worth it. And they came because someone else in the Masters said it was worth it. This is how you're really going to learn, right? This is where the rubber meets the road. And
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, and Trevor, you know, this is really like literally groundbreaking on Candela, right? But this is groundbreaking because this is the real deals that are happening live, and you get to go see this and hear the insider stories. And, you know, in 3 months, 6 months, as you repeat the visits, you will see how it evolves and develops. So, you know, a lot of people, as you underwrite the deal, you kind of see the end result evolving, and that goes into your decisions on the deals itself. So for everybody, you know, keep that curious mind open. Trevor is awesome with questions. I cannot tell you, you know, if Trevor doesn't know an answer or not sure, he pings us and he hounds us. So we get a little busy with that travel sometimes. So Trevor's really good about getting the answers. So keep that curious mind open, ask the questions, because this is what feeds into your new deals that you do, right? So and which is our goal to drive these things. So. I'm really excited. I think I might miss the Candela one, but I'm going to try to come to see if this weekend we can make it to this, because that would be really exciting.
And interestingly, on the Candela, you know, I kept downplaying it's just a shovel going in the dirt. I sent a link to somebody and they said it's sold out. We already have 20 RSVPs. So there's definitely a lot of interest. And you know, and we also created some marketings for some of the folks that invested in the program. A couple of them were at the weekend this weekend. So yeah, I was very excited.
And I added back here the corridor one. So let's take an action to kind of see what the best way to kind of coordinate that. On that note, you'll see a lot more property tours that we're going to schedule. Seeing is believing as you underwrite it, as you're running it. It's every time I walk an asset, I learn something. It's I'll tell you, the more I walk, I picked up how to paint, how to do the colors, how to lay out the unit, how to fix the offices. I mean, it's so much information that we can kind of extract every time you walk a property. So goal should be for everyone, walk a property as much as you can till you feel comfortable, right? And then you still keep on walking the asset till you get your own asset and you kind of run it, right? So good. Okay, so Vail, we'll see how that plays out. So I think the horizon in between. So we get the Harris Streets on April 24th, Trevor. Are we good to go on that one?
We're good to
Yeah.
go on that one.
Good.
And you know, we're real close to lease ready. I haven't been in a little bit,
Awesome.
but
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
And-
And on that note, go ahead, Sanjay.
Sorry, just one more to add. You know, we get appraisal for Vail this week, but Vail is scheduled to close end of April-ish. So probably once we close, we'll likely do a tour for a brand new deal that closed, right? So watch out for that. Watch out for the schedule, right? So so you can plan ahead. As we formalize Trevor's heading up Canis Major and these things, the plan becomes more and more formal and a little far out, so everybody can plan around these dates. So yeah.
Thank you. And also Trevor for Horizon, whoever's attending, let's get I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a copy of, in our asset management call, we'll get a copy of one of the lease agreements, go to the lease, so you know how to look at the terms as you go in and walk the asset as you go. So we have potentially 9,000 out of 16,000 rented, but it's a good exercise, and we'll touch more of a contract negotiating in our asset management call. Okay, so for some of you guys who are not attending at 9 o'clock and Thursdays, please join. It gets really more meaty, deep, but really good conversation. Okay, so mastermind trip. Think Shanoy is here? No? Okay. Cancun mastermind trip. Hotel is already out there. We booked the hotel. We have communicated via email. We dropped the note in our chat as well. If you have not received it, please drop the note on the masters and tag Rimsha. We'll post it again, May 7th to May 10th. So we're gonna be there, and we're gonna have some fun. And the agenda within those days, we're still working to finish those. So go ahead.
Yeah. So Shrar, high level agenda is posted on the Facebook group, I believe. But at a high level, May 7th, in the evening, there is a meet and greet. So arrive anytime on May 7th. And then 8th and 9th, we will have some presentations and some educational stuff on 8th and 9th. And 10th would be, I think, sort of a closing day and heading back, or half a day of stuff. This trip, for Massive Masters, of course, there is no charge. Everybody is responsible for their flights and accommodation. We are inviting other groups, Canis Major, Big Dogs, just from a networking perspective. Great to network with others, but those groups do have to pay for this, just because it is a lot of for us to organize, and there are expenses to our side. So for them, there will be a fee for this, but for Massive Masters, of course, our special group here, it's no charge for you guys. You just book your own flight and accommodation.
Thank you, Sanjay. And keep an eye on more. We'll keep on publishing the information. So let's looking forward to see a whole lot of us there hanging out and spending some time together. Canis Major. So this is our platform for passive investors to raise money from. We have started working on kind of getting the group up and running again, and Trevor is leading from the front. We have call set up. So it's an FYI at this point in time for Massive Masters. As that thing, and as we finish the work on the Canis Major side of it, and we have deals ready, we can go back and pitch the deal on the platform. So I talk to Mike every Thursday. He has equity raising call or practice equity raising call. So if you are getting into building that muscle, keep an eyes and ears open. Invite should be coming out. So Mike is going to be hosting those Thursday noon pitch practice. This is pitch hour, Thursday noon. So this is for practice for everyone else as you're gonna come in. Pro Money, every other Thursday, and the weekly Saturday, we have call set up. We received some of the feedback, some of the logics in the Pro Money, it's not quite working. So we have communicated to the team this week and next week. We'll have a focus to make sure that everybody who has Pro Money, you're getting the back-end support to make sure that Pro Money is working the way it's supposed to. So that's there. Thank you for the feedback. On the other side, if you don't have Pro Money, or if you don't have any CRM, get a CRM. Pro Money is the one that we're working directly with. Equity raising activity. The veil is I don't see the whole screen. Is Chirayu here before I go? I don't see him here. So Veil is one that we're raising money. It's a 506B. Or Sanjay, you want to speak a little bit on the Veil side before I get to Horizon?
Yeah, so on Veil, it's VAIL, by the way.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so all the information is provided to lender. Last week we had the appraisal. PCR, which is the property condition assessment, PCA property condition assessment from lender. The lender underwriter was there doing their own assessment. What we got a message was all went well, no surprises, nothing major. We did have a surprise, one hoarder unit with some roach type of infestation. So seller has been informed, and seller should be getting pest control out there. But other than that, no surprises. Appraisers seem okay in terms of valuations and stuff. So this week sometime we get the appraisal. I think the April 3rd or 4th is the due date for appraisal. So we get the appraisal, and then final application to Freddie Mac SBL team goes out. So, and then they have about 10 days to reply. And when they come back, technically we should be, as long as appraisal is in a good range, we should be in a good position to close this. So yeah, looking good. And Shirai, you remember that other fourplex that was on the market that we told the appraiser about that and the other property, the newer property. And when appraiser heard the price, we have this under contract, and those two properties that are on the market under contract and being sold, the appraiser was like just amazed at how low of a price we have this contract at. So, looking forward to getting this to finish line end of April, early May.
Cool, thank you. And right now, you guys still on a 506B. Shirai is working to get a 506C. I think he has more than 50-60% equities in place, and he's working with some of you guys to finish that. So good job on that one. Excited. Horizon, it's a 506C. We're doing some of those webinar as a practice. So we have 2 of those running as a practice. And we did our first fund to fund for Horizon is finished already. One of our relationships, especially on the Sanjay side, we came in, we got almost $1 million for the fund to fund on there. So it's a little bit more left. But see, and I work with Trevor and Mike. It's a practice. This is where you go practice on it as you go. We're going to do a version of the practice if needed on Vail on 506C when it gets there. But for now, Horizon is the practice. On that side, we have equity fund deck and a process and a system. Everything is ready. And the next time we get a new construction deal, we'll start our equity fund. It's going to be focusing on new construction. We built that arm a little bit, going back Harris Ridge, then going through that we have Georgetown, we have Fayette, and we have New Brunswick, then we have Candela. A lot of the learnings happened, and hence we're ready to pull the trigger on the equity fund on top of the individual syndications. So more to come as it comes, and we'll share more information. Debt fund, same thing, it is ready. I am floating the debt fund out to some of the other fund managers to get some feedback. So whether the rate is good, bad, anything else we need to do. So we've been reaching out actively to the other fund managers who are raising for a debt fund. So we'll get some feedback. And once you get some feedback, we'll share more as a part of the Thursday calls with Mike. On that note, just to kind of share, Massive Capital is actively looking for RIA and or family office background folks to come join our team. It's a employment basis, so we reached, we floated one job posting on LinkedIn. We had almost 40-45 people looked into it. 3 is in the running, and we are communicating with them. That's another skill set that we're looking to add to the Massive Capital, which is going to propagate into the Massive Masters, so we know and how to kind of work from that angle of it when a deal comes in. All right, let's get into the LOI and contract. So big kudos to Mobile Home Park. You guys are sending out LOIs like popcorn, so I popping out 3, 4, 5 at a time. So under contract perspective, we have Vail under contract officially, and the CB Stewart, that one, we met with seller last week, Wednesday, and we have another call waiting for this Thursday. We sent the offer out verbally, and she's saying what she's saying, but now we're going to send her a contract to sign this week. If it comes back, we got another project. If it don't, we understand. And then I'm meeting with a seller of a portfolio of multifamily, grabbing dinner with him tomorrow night to see what else we can do with him. Then I got a couple of property tours coming up. And then our San Antonio team, they have an LOI going back and forth. Sanjay, you want to give us an update a little bit more on the deal that we presented with Sky and Alex's team? Then I can share one more project's update.
Sorry, which deal?
The one that Alex presented from San Antonio, that 100% leverage. That's taking the wire.
Oh yeah, so Palazzo.
Palazzo,
I
yeah.
think the team is working on that. It's so it's like a foreclosure, close to foreclosure. Lender is Lument. This broker who reached out, they worked a few deals with Lument, where Lument, and they're working out a deal with the buyer, just so Lument doesn't have to hold the property. Lument is an agency lender. So, you know, we're underwriting it, looking at it to see where, so the broker said, hey, submit the offers wherever it makes sense for us. So really what made sense for us is 100% financing for lender, and, you know, whatever else lender need we could do. It's a beautiful property with you know, the tile roofs, 3-story, really nice buildings. So yeah, we'll go out, see how it looks and how it goes, but yeah, interesting property.
I have another one in San Antonio. The broker is reaching out quite a bit. That's a smaller unit, close to us. So we'll talk with the acquisition team. Then in Houston, there's a big one being floating around. So it's quite a bit of activity on the back end. So for all the multifamily team, thank you for staying on top of all the leads. Here, some of you guys looking at some of the deals that came back, maybe on archive. If it is, tag us in. We'll bring it back to the lead, you know, on the top end of the lead flow. And then, you know, you can underwrite it, refresh it, and we can take a look at it. So lots of activity, lots of LOIs. And also a group from here, you guys are talking to lenders. Good job on that one, on top of the introduction, on the triple net team as well. So as you're looking at those deals, build the lenders, shop around, get the terms as much as you can. If it doesn't work for this deal, guess what? We have a term sheet on hand, which is a fresh term sheet, good for next 30, 40, 60 days or so as you go through. On that note, I saw a text on the group. Then Joe was asking for Paul's name. It's Paul Pibble from All Capital. On that note, every transaction has a cost. So everybody has a time and a place to partner with. We work together, but at the same time, our goal is to save money for the project. So Paul, All Capital, give you context, it's a broker. And some of the relationship they have, we do have. So we took it inside of not to pay 2% fee, rather pay 1% directly to the lender. And sometime when we're out of options, we need a wild card. Here's one of the wild card that we have. So as you get into the deals, we'll make the introduction for you. And assuming that is the first better spot to kind of go to, then you do it. Now, what happens? I'll use you as an example, Joe. If I came in and I go to Paul to build a relationship, Paul is thinking Shirai is a brand new guy. He hasn't even bought anything yet. Yeah, I want to talk to him for 5 minutes, but he's going to rank me right there. Versus if when a deal comes in, we want it, we tried it, but we couldn't, then we go to him. He knows that that's his play. He knows it's a high, that deal with the high confidence he can get to work. So on that note, build relationship, but first build the relationship. We make the introduction, and then as you continue with it, please do so. On that note, All Capital has a very good podcast. They do site tours as well. Feel free to reach out to them, and reach out to those events and sign up. Love that team. One of the best and a person that I know who is level-headed. From my side, I saved a lot of bad relationship and lots of relationship that could potentially go bad. Lots of high-risk investment that was high risk, but we didn't see it. The Paul has been a good guiding principle to kind of help us go through the process. So absolutely nothing but good things to say about that team. All right, let's go back to Monday. I think we covered quite a bit. It's 9:40. Lots of activity overall. Lots of LOIs going out. So kudos to everybody putting the time in. So just stay relevant, keep making the offers. It's a purely numbers game, and it's gonna happen. It's a law of average. That average really works. We just have to kind of keep at it. That's all I had for today. Sanjay, anything else to add?
Damn it.
Hey.
No, that's it. I think you covered it. That's everything.
Cool. Any questions, comment, thoughts from the group before we wrap up for today?
Sure. This is Joe. Thanks for explaining Paul Peebles' relationship and approach. Quick question. Last Thursday morning at 9, you gave an outstanding presentation from a group that kind of did a survey on the high net worth individuals. You mentioned that you might be able to share that as well as another deck, and about a dozen of us were hanging on the
All right.
call.
I think it was Harvard.
My bad. Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Just a kind
Thank you.
reminder.
Thank you. I got
That
the
was so helpful. The whole group really got a lot out of that, by the way, for our capital raise, better understanding.
awesome. Absolutely. We'll do it right now. Okay, thank you.
There was
Anything
that-
else?
There was that deck, and there was another deck you mentioned, just kind of as an aside after that. I didn't catch it. Maybe some of the other folks caught it. Maybe Eric, Eric Harass, did you catch that second deck that Shirar offered to share?
Joe, give me some context. I'm trying to remember because I was focused on the one.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, it was
Alright.
just kind of an aside, Shirar. You mentioned you had another one you wanted to share, and I didn't.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a conversation, I think.
Okay, thank you so much.
Cool. Okay. And what I would do, oh yes, I have another one. I know exactly what you're talking about. So,
Well, thank you.
no problem. Thank you so much. And then, okay. And let me see the other one. Okay, sounds good. I uploaded the first one already, and I'll upload the second one in about a minute or so. I'll have to do that up. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody, anything else? Okay. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate all the time and effort. And I'll see some of you guys today, and if not, Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day.